happened last night was you walked away with the number 1 edge rusher and the number 1 wide receiver on most analyst boards. That's how you go from a bottom-feeding team to a contender. All of you idiots, you know who you are. I don't want to see your names in the chat this morning. I will find you.
Let's do it.
Like the walruses you are. I've seen a lot of low points in my my lifetime with the Detroit Lions. Not just on the field product, in the offseason. Signing a quarterback, a backup quarterback, a week before, 2 weeks before the draft, when you were rumored to be in conversations trading back 2-3 spots with the Miami Dolphins. I've seen the Lions trade up for Javid Best. I've seen the Lions trade up in the second round. I've seen enough. Last night, at face value, and again, are these two gold jacket players? Who knows? I can't predict the future. I can't. But last night, I believe, was the first time in this franchise's history that it wasn't by a stroke of luck. It wasn't by, Jamarcus Russell going number 1 overall and Sam Bradford. It was the Lions positioned themselves into having one of, I believe, their greatest draft nights. Could they be better than Ndamukong Suh and Calvin Johnson? Probably not. I don't need them to be. But last night, the front office, the staff, everybody in that building, I think took a huge step forward into turning this franchise from what it really is, which is the worst franchise in the NFL, because since the year 2000 they had 0 playoff wins, to, I believe, a franchise that, watch out. Is it going to result in Super Bowls, division? I don't know. Well, what I know is they're doing the right things, Terry. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. And what we saw last night, you said probably the best draft.
It could be.
I'm going to say it was.
Very good. Very good.
Now, you can go back to Barry Sanders. Do you know why the Lions ended up with Barry Sanders?
Because the Packers were fortunate enough to be stupid.
If the Lions were had the second pick, they were going to go with Tony Mandarich. So that would have been a total disaster. They got the break because they had the number 3 pick and not the number 2 pick. But last night, fans, and I'm not saying fans know everything, but a lot of times when we talk about the Lions, the fans are more in tune than the Lions are, because the fans want them to be aggressive either by trading up or trading back. And the Lions always stand pat. Well, so-and-so fell to us. No, Brad Holmes said, no, I'm not playing that game. This is the guy I want. He's the fastest, or one of the fastest receivers in the draft. Not waiting for him. I'm going to get this guy. I'll give up some things. And the thing that I'm afraid of is, because it's an incomplete team, I want to see bodies in here. But I think Brad Holmes is saying, yeah, I still want bodies, but I want the right bodies in here. And I'm willing to sacrifice a couple bodies if I can get the right person in here. So that's what Williams is all about. And you know what? Lions are still in the position where they must take risk. And the risk is Williams never achieves top speed and isn't what he should have been. And I'm okay with that from this standpoint. At least they took a risk on something. Risks don't always work out, but I think this one, because of modern technology, modern medicine, has a better chance of playing out. Today's NFL, I'm more afraid of a speedy team than a big team. And so the Lions are saying, let's bring in speed, let's bring in athletes, and we'll take our chances. And me, yes, I'm an observer. I never fall for the Lions BS because I just know they're awful. I know they're going to make the wrong decisions, but I think that's a thing of the past. Brad Holmes showed last night that I'm going to target my guy. And in past, the Lions were always, damn, we missed our guy. We want, they wouldn't say it publicly, but you go into the rooms and you talk to him privately. Yeah, we wanted this guy and we couldn't get him. Just missed him. Brad Holmes said, I ain't missing my guy. I'm getting him. That's the difference.
And that's perfect. 35 years old, 36 this year. From all the Lions draft I've seen, you hope like, hey, hope the Lions can get this guy at this pick. Hope the Lions can go get this guy at this pick. Last night they were able to draft one of the 2 better edge rushers in the draft, and then you're still thinking that the Lions have to go get a wide receiver. They got picked 32 and 34, so you're hoping like maybe later on they can get a Christian Watson or something like that. Brad Holmes said, F that. I'm going to go up and go get my guy. I'm going to go ahead and be aggressive, and I've never in my lifetime seen a Lions GM be that bold and make like, you know what? We're not sitting on our ass and we're not sitting on our hands and we're going to wait. We see a guy that has untapped potential, as they said last night, and we're gonna go grab him instead of just hoping we get one of the 6th, 7th, 8th, not best wide receiver in the draft.
They can miss on Jameson Williams, and I would still appreciate the hell out of that decision.
Because
would I be happy they missed? No, obviously not. But the reality is that is how you take yourself seriously. That's how you go from a bottom-feeding team to a contender.
If you miss on Jameson Williams, if you miss on Aiden Hutchinson, whatever, Brad Holmes showed last night, not just to the fan base, but to potential free agents that may want to come to Detroit. When we have a chance to go all in, we're going all in. We're trying to build something special in Detroit. That's what he showed last night.
Is there anybody in the Metro Detroit area that actually has an IQ over 15 that actually thinks the Lions made a bad decision or a bad move last night? I haven't
Depends on
found
who you talk to.
Is there a media analyst out there that is actually sitting up here this morning and whoever decides today they're going to criticize the Lions, that's the wrong play, buddy.
No, there isn't. But Harry from Roseville is probably
the point I'm getting to is, this isn't the Lions traded up and drafted Cole Strange. Oh, you guys don't know who that is? Great. The Patriots took him at number 28 overall. He was projected to be a 3rd-round pick. You don't have that problem. Detroit, what happened last night was you walked away with the number 1 edge rusher and the number 1 wide receiver on most analysts' boards. Unbelievable. This isn't you traded up for Jahan Dotson when Jameson Williams was on the board. This isn't you traded up for Treylon Burks when Garrett Wilson, all these guys were on the board. No. You weren't the smartest person in the room. You knew what you wanted, and you went and got it. And I can appreciate the hell out of that. That should be the takeaway, I believe,
I can too,
from
but
everybody.
when you listen to press conferences of coaches and their team maybe have lost 5 out of 6 games or 3 games in a row, here's what we hear. We don't have playmakers. Now, there's 2 types of NFL players. There's guys who go out there, do yeoman's work. That they do what they need to do. They help you. And then there's dudes who are playmakers. In other words, what they do is they change the trajectory of a game. Aiden Hutchinson can change a game with a sack. I mean, somebody's marching down the field, he gets a sack, it's 2nd and 16. Chances are that team is not going to score. Williams, he's got the potential of, okay, the offense is bogged down, can't get anything going, and then bam, you pop one for 60. That's a playmaker. That's not the possession receiver. And Hutchinson is not the guy that's just putting pressure on the quarterback, but he's the guy that puts the opposing offense, in a bad position so that they can't recover from that. That's a playmaker.
You know what the Lions did last night? And I just literally thought about this. Now, granted, I think Matthew Stafford is happy that he left. He went ahead and went to LA and he got a ring. But that last year's draft and last night's draft, that's probably the type of GM stuff that Matthew Stafford was looking for while he was in the
You
Detroit
took the words
Lions
out of my
uniform.
mouth. That's the difference between Martin Mayhew, Matt Millen, Bob Quinn, all those jokes of a GM that can only get 1 pick right a year, maybe if they're lucky. And they need to fall into Calvin Johnson. They need to get lucky and fall into Ndamukong Suh. That's it. That's all they get right. Brad Holmes isn't like that. Brad Holmes is not like that at all. And last night you saw the difference between being a competent front office and the joke front offices and organization that the Lions have had over the last 30, 40, 50 years. There's a big difference in how they operate. And moving forward, call a spade a spade. The Lions look like a real legitimate front office. And you want to talk about the Matthew Stafford deal? Mm-hmm. I said it the day the NFL season started after the Bears game, when Matthew Stafford debuted and had a really good game. Not only did I say they'd win the Super Bowl, I said both teams won the trade. The Lions got something they needed, given they were going into a rebuild, Corey, and that's draft capital. And when you give a GM like Brad Holmes draft capital, last night happens. And when you give Matthew Stafford to a competent organization and a very good football team and a legitimate head coach, not Jim Caldwell, not Jim Schwartz, not Matt Patricia, you win a Super Bowl. The formula's there. They will build towards it. I believe Jared Goff is a great bridge option for the next year, 2 years. And up next on the check it off list is the franchise quarterback, whether it's this year or next year. That's the play.
Hey, with that trade, as they said, and paid in full, everybody eats, B. Everybody ate. Matthew Stafford went ahead and went to L.A. He got his ring. Lions were able to go ahead and now initiate a true rebuild with the draft capital. And as you see right now with the competent GM in the front office, they're right now doing a smart build. Next year, if they have draft capital, they could go ahead and very well do the same damn thing again. They're really sitting pretty for the next couple years to come. And also, too, even with this year, if this...
Wait, why didn't we trade with Carolina last year?
Because it was dumb.
No, it wasn't. We could have got Micah Parsons. What are you talking about, Corey?
I looked at that Carolina trade and I'm like, it didn't make any sense.
How did the Lions trade for Jamison Williams? How do they have a first-round pick next year if they trade with Carolina?
Because you got multiple first-round picks.
Stay out of the chat. All of you idiots, you know who you are. I don't want to see your names in the chat this morning. I will find you. And some of you work here. You know who you are. Can't hide from me.
But you know what they're setting themselves up for? Brad Holmes is showing, I'm going to be aggressive. I'll trade up. Let's say next year, the Lions, they win the 8 games, and Matthew Stafford is not going to repeat as a Super Bowl champion. So let's say the Lions have the 9th pick, and then they get 26. He will not be afraid
to do it again.
And if I told you gave up 926 and a future first,
and
for your
he'll
franchise
get his quarterback. That's what they'll do.
You would tell me, let's do it, like the walruses you are.
All right, you got spittle on you.
I know.
Getting a little too excited.
Thanks for
Slow down.
For me, Terry.
No, but I'm saying the man is showing, because people say, well, to get a good quarterback, they're going to have to win 4 games next year. No, that's not true. You're going to get 2 first-round picks. You should be able to find a trading partner. And I don't know, if you have 9 and let's say 26, you can move up to 5 or you can move up to 6. And there should be somebody sitting there saying, okay, I'm 22 years old. I'm ready to take this franchise over. So don't worry about the quarterback. And if they're able to do that, and unless Dan Campbell is a complete buffoon, they should be able to win a playoff game in 3 or 4 years. Not make the playoffs. I don't care about that. I'm saying win a playoff game.
Win in the playoffs. Compete for the division. Win the division. That is the standard. No longer, I like 9-7. 9-7 is good. None of that. We're not doing that moving forward.